There's quite a big crowd that's turned out at this Black Lives Matter protest that's being held at Civic Park here in Darwin. I'd say there's 700 or 800 people who have turned out to this rally. Of course, there's been a lot of discussion ahead of this event about coronavirus restrictions and whether this event should have been allowed to proceed. Until Thursday night, there had been a 500-person limit on outdoor gatherings. The Chief Health Officer quietly changed that ruling on Thursday night. So even though there is an incredibly large crowd here by Darwin standards at this protest, they are not in breach now of the social distancing restrictions. Those restrictions have now effectively been completely lifted on outdoor gatherings here in the Northern Territory. We also have been hearing from a couple of the organisers of this event. We heard from one of those just at the beginning, Sharna Alley, addressing the crowd. Here's a bit of what she had to say.
We're tired of the injustices. We're tired of the brutality against our people in so-called protective custody. And we really want to know when will it stop?
It's interesting to see the different approach we've seen from leaders across the country when it comes to these events. We heard the Northern Territory Chief Minister, Michael Gunner, and the Health Minister, Natasha Files, virtually condone this event. They certainly did not say that it shouldn't go ahead. It was a different message from the Prime Minister Scott Morrison. He had urged people not to attend these events, and he also had said that police should fine people who do show up at any of these events in breach of the rules. I have to say I haven't seen any police officers at this event at this stage. Also interesting to hear this morning from the opposition leader, Anthony Albanese. Here's a bit of what he had to say.
People shouldn't protest. People should follow the health advice, and the health advice is very clear from the Chief Medical Officer. There are a range of ways that people can express their views. They don't have to gather in mass gatherings against the health advice.
We have, of course, seen those concerns raised about the possibility of a second wave, a second coronavirus wave following some of these events. We know that there was one of the protesters who turned out at that rally in Melbourne last weekend who tested positive to coronavirus, and we've heard the health authorities say it might be another week or so before we know whether there's community transmission as a result of that. There has been no community transmission at any stage recorded in the Northern Territory, so it might be a bit of a different situation here, but there is certainly a very large crowd at this event. They're about to march through the city and then we'll return back here to Civic Park, but those speeches are underway at the moment, and certainly a large crowd and a quiet atmosphere here at the moment, but that might change a bit later on.
Yeah, Matt, the Northern Territory certainly has a very good track record when it comes to coronavirus. Hopefully that March day does remain peaceful. We'll check in later on in the hour.